Oh, yeah. Okay, alright. So, this, again, it's like, it's not funny, but I have to laugh. It's like, holy shoot, they actually did it. Watch PBS's Arthur roll out propaganda video for kids. It's not enough to say I'm not a racist. Okay. Now, when I was younger, maybe I'm confusing like Bibar, right? I think there's an elephant called Bibar, right? I used to see these books during. I don't know if every state has it, but a lot of schools will have like a, maybe it's like a book drive. I'm not sure if it's a book drive, but it's really like they have like a book thing, and you pay money to buy books. That's how it works. So I used to see Bibar and Arthur a lot. I never really watched the cartoons. And I'm one of those like those I want to say 90s kids, even though probably a little later than 90s, probably even 2000s. And I used to love my Saturday morning cartoons. The weekday cartoons were fantastic, right? Now, so this is one of the things I believe is wrong with going. Okay, what's wrong with kids today? They don't have any cartoons on television. And not the gay cartoons, the good cartoons. Stuff about like superheroes, where men are men. It's one of the reasons these cartoons exist is for positive propaganda. Okay, there is a thing like positive propaganda, but also it plays into the traits of man and woman. Right, men are heroes. Men. If men. Okay, so when men think of like, I'm gonna say sacrificing themselves, men think of being war heroes, sacrificing for the common good. Women do not think the same way as men. They're not capable. There are just differences between men and women. Okay, this is why when men, I used to be a big fan of comics. Right, comics are essentially extensions of men. Right, so it's essentially if men had the powers, they would save everyone. So it's like being a firefighter. The extension of being a firefighter would be like Spider-Man. He do everything a firefighter can, then some. Okay, so a lot of these superheroes are just simply extensions of real life roles that men do. Okay, men are builders, men are the heroes, men are saviors, men are the men are essentially the glue that holds civilization together. Okay, so and cartoons were fantastic. This is what they really represent. Yes, it's entertaining, but they used to give you a good morals, right? They used to give you a good moral of a story. The cartoons don't do it anymore. Cartoons are not propaganda, but they're communist propaganda. Okay, they're not meant to weaken civilization. Again, if anybody ever seen the scenarios, the U.S. military knows we get wiped out by the Chinese. We lose to the communists because we have been torn apart by the communists. Okay, you can't give people who look like this any sort of power. Okay, all right. Anyway, the PBS show Arthur is pumping out taxpayer. That's a really sad part about it. Taxpayer-funded propaganda depicting the U.S. as a racist country where unjustified police brutality. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just ridiculous talking points. Again, when people use a lot of cliches, they can't think for themselves. A segment began with a conversation between the propagandist. Oops, sorry, the the protagonist Arthur, the aardvark, or that's what he is, an aardvark, and his best friend Buster the rabbit, in which the pair make an obvious reference to a distressing video of George Kirby in police custody. They don't mention Kirby by name. Did you see that video? Arthur asked Buster. Yeah, I watched it. It was awful. I can't believe someone would hurt. I can't believe. Sorry, the proper statement. I can't believe someone would take so much drugs and off himself because they're black. That should be the proper statement. Buster, it happens everywhere. Arthur responds, I was talking about Miss McGrady the other day, and she said a really long history of drug using by a certain segment of the population that are treated very fairly, but think they're not treated very fairly in the United States. Okay, so that's the way you actually phrase this. If this show Arthur was actually correct, okay, this is nonsense garbage. Okay, garbage. I come from a country where it's just like you have cartoons, but every day I used to tune into, like, I can't remember, it was 3 p.m. Or could be 4 p.m. after school, and all you see is Sesame Street. That was great. You know, kids no longer had the luxury to come home again and watch cartoons. Instead, it's a 24/7 news cycle. Although the things like the Disney Channel and the Cartoon Network, I I didn't even know what's on there. But I gotta imagine similar trash to this because Disney is a trash company. Okay? Again, what angers me is that they sold out the free world to the communists. And the free world smiled and bent over. That's what's so bothersome. Okay? And what I think is the free thinker. Okay, so you like these people to represent you. Instead, they represent um the nutcases. Okay, you know, it's not enough to, like, you have to care about your family. Unfortunately, you know, and do what's right to elect the right people. You have to watch what they're doing now, because the right people are simply going to be promoted by the destroyers. That's simply it. Something as simple as Arthur is just, it's a microcosm of everything what's going on. It represents a, something bigger. It literally represents propaganda. You know, imagine like a parent. You're cooking, you're cleaning. In a sane world, your wife is cooking and cleaning at home. She simply puts her kid to watch cartoons and TV. Imagine running into something like Arthur with this propaganda nonsense. To me, this is sick. This is signs of a sick. Again, these things weaken nations. Okay, first you're pushing a lie. There is no racism problem. Okay, so let's continue. The pair are later joined by their lunch lady, of course, the lunch lady, Miss McGrady, who explains how racism is like a disease and it's going to get worse without further action. Yes, I saw the video too, and I tell you, it made my blood boil. It makes my blood boil too, because it was clearly a lie being pushed, and everybody knows it's a lie. Whoever did this at PBS should be fired. Should be investigated. Holy crap! Last May the show featured a gay wedding and protagonist oh goodness, wowzers! And some people don't like when people talk about here's the thing, right? You may not like something, but sometimes you can fight the fact that it's true. Like, I'm somebody who actually don't like guns, but the truth be told, it saves lives. States that carry guns are safer than states that don't. Okay, because bad people will always get their hands on it. The bad people will take away the rights from the good people. My goodness, what the heck is this? Jeez, remember when these things used to be a joke? No, it's like you can't have a running joke anymore because it's like, hey, it's true. So, animated show which ran since 1996. Wow, aimed at children from 48. Goodness, they indoctrinate early. One of the parts of indoctrination that's really dangerous is, like, the reason to go after your kids is because the kids can report what the parents say. I've had kids tell me some outlandish things about their, let's just say, their mother and friend acquaintance meeting up in a room together. Put it like that, okay? I've had kids tell me these things. Okay. Anyway, here's the thing, right? So I support conservatism immensely, right? It makes sense to me when you just look at history. You look at everything that's built society. Yes, Roman, blah blah blah, Greece, blah blah blah, but everything is really built around Christianity, right? So here's the thing, right? When you okay, So when you push immorality, you say truths are lies, right? How do you fight immorality? And even when you look for quote unquote a fact on the computer, they're just gonna push lies now. They want to censor things, right? The only thing that really fights against propaganda is God. Okay, you may not like it, but it's the truth. It's not just my truth, okay? There are other people who are former communists who understand why communism hates God and try to get rid of God, and why God defeats communism, okay? I'll just leave it there for people to ponder and think about. Share, save, subscribe, thumbs up, and enjoy. And hopefully, you don't enjoy author. You know, if you do, that's fine. But jeez, man, it's not good. Take care. Bye.